Are EVs a scam? Toyota's CEO just leaked a shocking warning that left all EV makers angry, but had combustion car enthusiasts thrilled. Their new CEO, Koji Sato, is definitely not an EV lover and absolutely hates the idea of going all electric. But then why is Toyota suddenly pushing EVs? Because the world leaders are forcing them to. Despite this backlash, Toyota has silently been experimenting with a radically new type of fuel that could literally destroy the entire EV agenda and save combustion engines from getting banned. Why is Toyota's CEO so skeptical about EVs? What doesn't the world want you to find out about electrification? And when will their new alternative fuel come out? Here's what exactly happened. It all started in the days of Toyota's ex-CEO Akio Toyoda, who was shown the door due to his reluctance to embrace EVs. Now, why would the CEO of one of the biggest car makers in the world want to go against something many call an inevitable future trend? Toyota presented a rather proactive view, proclaiming himself a part of the silent majority of auto industry stalwarts who were skeptical about an EV-only future. The ex-CEO repeatedly emphasized his belief that a holistic way forward was to explore multiple powertrain technologies. This includes hybrids, plug-in hybrids, hydrogen-powered vehicles, Toyota's secret fuel, and yes, battery electric vehicles too. He was quoted as saying, "People involved in the auto industry are largely a silent majority. That silent majority is wondering whether EVs are really okay to have as a single option, but they think it's a trend so they can't speak out loudly." The right answer is still unclear. We shouldn't limit ourselves to just one option. He said that while many were considering EVs as the sole path to carbon neutrality, the real enemy was carbon itself, not the type of powertrain. On top of this, everyone literally went crazy when the new CEO gave a scary warning to the world's leaders against the consequences of banning ICE cars. More on that towards the end. As per Toyota, battery electric vehicles or BEVs weren't the singular solution to the world's carbon neutrality goals. Instead, he championed the need for a diverse portfolio comprising hybrids, plug-ins, battery electrics, and fuel cell vehicles. And now look. I agree that he had been making combustion engines all his life, so there's the attachment angle, but he presented practical concerns too. And as you'll soon find out, Toyota is being backed by many giant automakers on this. He was wary of the looming tremendous shortages of crucial materials like lithium and battery-grade nickel, anticipating potential supply chain issues in the next decade. Moreover, Toyota was also critical of the speed at which regulators expected the adoption of all electric vehicles. He cited the potential roadblocks like infrastructure constraints, variable consumer preferences across regions, and pricing challenges. While Toyota's stance might appear as a resistance to change, Toyota, under his leadership, did not entirely shun electric vehicles. The company earmarked a substantial $70 billion for electrified vehicles over 9 years, albeit a sum that's conservative compared to some competitors. However, Toyota's emphasis was clear. Toyota aimed for diversification. Their goal was to provide a vast range of powertrains to satisfy a broad spectrum of customers. But then something unfortunate happened. Akio Toyoda was ousted due to electrification concerns. The 66-year-old grandson of Toyota's founder didn't just play the role of a CEO, he was the embodiment of the company's philosophy. He wanted the common man to be able to pick what they really want and not just force EVs on everyone. However, his views led Toyota to be ranked among the world's most obstructive companies in 2022, sharing space with oil giants like ExxonMobil. To further highlight the gap, Toyota's first EV, the BZ4X, had its launch marred by safety recalls. Statistically, while many automakers boasted double-digit EV sales, Toyota generated less than 1% of its total US sales from zero-emission vehicles, selling only around 1,200 units during the initial phases. The ex-CEO said, "Because of my strong passion for cars, I am an old-fashioned person in regards to digitalization, electric vehicles, and connected cars. I cannot go beyond a car guy, and that is my limitation." Then came in Koji Sato, who everyone expected to move Toyota towards an all-electric future, but soon after his appointment, he said something all EV-loving world leaders feared the most. While Sato does want to accelerate the production of EVs, he said that Toyota will have a dual focus on the new fuel source they've been working on. More on that in a minute. At the company's annual general meeting, Toyota faced significant pressure from shareholders demanding a more aggressive shift towards EVs. But Toyota's response was clear. Their aim is carbon neutrality, not just the widespread adoption of EVs. Executive Vice President Masahiko Maeda emphasized that Toyota's goal was to provide a range of vehicle choices, so they went against the shareholders and continued to launch hybrids. However, European investors as well as American hedge funds don't seem to share his vision. Akademiker Pension, a substantial Danish fund, was among those vocal about their concerns. The fund had been proactive in challenging Toyota, questioning its ongoing negative climate lobbying and accusing the automaker of attempting to dilute governmental efforts to phase out combustion engines in favor of EVs. Their concerns were echoed by other major players like AP7, the Storebrand Group, and the Church of England. Shareholders, environmentalists, and the general public have become more vocal about their discontent. Notably, at Toyota's headquarters, Greenpeace Japan organized a protest demanding a halt to the production of fossil fuel cars. Given that Toyota received Greenpeace's lowest grade in its 2021 annual analysis of global automakers' decarbonization efforts, the company's reputation in environmental circles has certainly taken a hit. Even though Toyota set a target of selling 3.5 million battery EVs annually by 2030, it still lags behind its peers in terms of the proportion of total sales that are EVs. While leadership at Toyota has been consistent in their approach to the EV transition, it's evident that they face internal and external pressures. It's also worth noting that Toyota is not alone in its stance against EVs. Companies like Stellantis, BMW, Porsche, Honda, and Mercedes also echo this sentiment. BMW CEO Zipse cautioned against an exclusive focus on EVs as it may increase dependency on a few countries, notably with most of the raw materials for batteries being controlled by China. He emphasized that there is still a market for combustion engine cars. For individuals who cannot transition to EVs immediately, combustion engines serve as an alternative to older, potentially less efficient vehicles. Zipse also has historically spoken against complete bans on combustion engine sales. Carlos Tavares, the head of Stellantis and Jeep, also cautioned that a dogmatic ban on combustion vehicles could have social consequences that might be unmanageable. Transitioning solely to EVs, which currently are more expensive than fossil fuel or hybrid counterparts, could make car ownership unaffordable for many, particularly affecting the middle class. Honda's CEO, on the other hand, having been in engine development for over 3 decades, admitted that while the transition might feel threatening to him personally, decisions must be based on what's best for the business. And now for the biggest news, which could literally obliterate EVs, introducing Toyota's ammonia engine. Yes, folks, you heard that right. This engine, made in collaboration with another company called GAC Motors, fixes all the issues of combustion engines. And the best part? This could fit in any existing ICE car, meaning you get to keep your cars for longer without the fear of a ban by the government. Composed of 1 nitrogen and 3 hydrogen molecules, ammonia, NH3, presents an intriguing prospect for internal combustion engines. With no carbon atoms in its structure, it inherently promises low CO2 emissions when burned. GAC's prototype, co-developed with Toyota, can run on liquidized ammonia, a feat previously limited to ships and heavy machinery. The revelation that a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine could produce 161 horsepower with 90% fewer carbon emissions is undeniably groundbreaking. This concept truly holds the potential to redefine the automotive landscape with its reduced emissions. We also did a full-on dedicated video covering all the features of this revolutionary engine. It'll be linked at the end of this video so you can watch it afterwards. Supporting the anti-EV narrative, Toyota has also just begun the testing of a vehicle that gained a lot of attention globally. At a recent endurance race in Suzuka Circuit, Japan, Toyota's new CEO Koji Sato addressed the company's perspective on electric vehicles and hydrogen cars. While acknowledging the need for Toyota to have an EV-first mindset, he also emphasized the importance of keeping hydrogen a viable option for the future. Sato indicated that for hydrogen to be a significant player, there needs to be an evolution in the production and transport supply chain of hydrogen. While they are undoubtedly moving towards EVs, with plans for a new dedicated EV platform by 2026 and an aim to sell about 3.5 million EVs worldwide by 2030, they are also not ready to give up on hydrogen. Sato's comments hint at a bigger picture where Toyota wants to be prepared for all potential future energy scenarios. Despite this, they are now testing their new hydrogen racing fuel cells that both promise efficiency and power. Toyota unveiled its latest venture into green technology, a Corolla powered by liquid hydrogen, making the entry of hydrogen-fueled vehicles into the world of auto racing. Toyota's hydrogen-powered Corolla participated in the Super Taiku 24-hour race at the Fuji Speedway, symbolizing the company's commitment to green technology. The race car, however, is more of an experiment than a commercial product as of now. Unlike typical EVs, the hydrogen Corolla uses a combustion engine, but it burns liquid hydrogen instead of gasoline. Despite being criticized for its gradual approach to electrification, Toyota's newly unveiled roadmap is ambitious. They envision EVs with an incredible range of over 600 miles by 2026 and around 900 miles post-2028. The first of these next-gen EVs will be launched under their luxury brand Lexus. This vehicle will utilize a cutting-edge lithium-ion battery. Toyota's future goals include implementing giga-casting technologies for expedited vehicle production and achieving ultra-aerodynamic car designs. While the focus on electric and hydrogen technologies is evident, Toyota isn't abandoning internal combustion engines. They plan to continue their development, ensuring a diverse offering for consumers globally. Do you think Toyota should abandon combustion engines altogether? Or are you with them in this race to find an alternative solution to the energy crisis? Let me know down in the comments below. We just uploaded a video about groundbreaking news that could hurt the entire EV industry. Do check it out if you want to be truly shocked by what's about to happen with EV.